Так, всех приветствую. Это у нас тестовый будет запуск. А, Почему? Потому что я задолбался уже настраивать ОБС. Сейчас опять перенастроил. Но я не верю в это, то, что из одной игры может быть такие траблы, короче, косяки. Ну, неужели вот на старт нажимаешь и в итоге начинается рассинхрон звука игры? Но я не поверю в это. Из-за одной игры. Так. Мы сейчас поиграем. Я там перенастроил. У меня одна галочка какая-то стояла. Ну, короче, что-то это... Подозревал, что с настройками сбилось у меня. Вот. Я уже несколько раз старт понажимал. Да, есть помехи в звуке игры, но... Как бы это... Как бы пока еще все нормально. Так, у нас вот задание есть. На капитанском терминале безнадежно нашли записи поиска какого-то мощного оружия. Помимо того, что у меня микрофон не был подключен в настройках OBS, он был подключен к рабочему столу. Это я тоже ошибку как-то совершил, это пропустил этот момент, так скажем. Так. Подожди, а что у нас? Давай... Подожди опять. Дневник Сили, помощница Санжара Нанди должна знать, как дела с заказом. Пойдем туда. В наушниках пока я не слышу рассинхрон. Я разделил. У меня сейчас на две платформы идет, да? Я их разделил. Обычно я как на одной платформе было настроено, так и на второй я автоматом сделал, чтобы OBS туда же все настройки отправлял. Но я их сейчас разделил как бы. Условно у меня на ютубе 15 тысяч стоит до битрейда. И также у меня автоматом шло на Рутуб 15 тысяч. Ну, либо на другую платформу, там, неважно, не суть. Сейчас я сделал, чтобы у меня было 15 на YouTube. И на Рутуб у меня было 8. Вот. На Рутубу, если это 15, это слишком много. На Рутубу 8 хватает с головой. Вот. Как бы так. Посмотрим. Но я в этот бредятину не поверю, чтобы Рутуб. Ой, Рутуб, чтобы из-за этой игры какой сильно рассинхрон был. Вот. Не поверю ни за что, потому что не было такого, чтобы сильно рассинхрон был по звуку.
Greetings, and welcome to Monarch Stellar Industries, producers and purveyors of the finest salt tuna in Halcyon. What can I do for you today?
Так, о чем вы говорили? У вас трудности с деньгами?
Or is he not paying you on account of how he tried to fix the thing his own self and busted it even worse, and then said you wasn't fixing it fast enough, so he's docking your wages again? Not that I got any prior experience with such.
Not at all. Mr. Nandi treats us all right and pays us well. I just spent most of my paycheck on Raptidon acid. Laws, no. Sometimes it's canid teeth, or mantis worm wings. Whatever Sebastian has in stock, really. So I can talk to him, of course. He doesn't get going about much else.
I reckon she's got a little bit of a squish on this fella.
He's sort of the strong, silent type. Unfortunately, my apartment's kind of filling up with his stuff, and some of the neighbors are complaining about the smell. Would you? I'd appreciate that so much. Maybe don't tell him I wanted you to ask. Just that You met this really nice lady named Celia, and she seemed... Oh, Mr. Nandi's doing that thing where he breathes through his nose real slowly. I'd better get back to work. He doesn't talk much, but he's got this quiet intensity, you know? Like there's stuff going on inside his head that you have no idea about. Plus, he's got great legs. It's hard to find a man who doesn't skimp on lower body exercises.
Ой, ладно.
Sorry, sometimes
Мне
I get
это не
carried
интересно.
away.
Can we talk?
Так, подожди.
Have you talked to Sebastian yet?
А,
What did he
нет.
say?
Извини, перепутал.
You know, sending you is the first bright idea I've seen from that man, because I told him to stop bothering me about it a week ago. I still don't know anything about it, but if you want to help him, Velma's the one to ask. She's in the warehouse. But I'll warn you, Grim wore her patience thin a long time ago.
Я что-то не понимаю, я уже запутался, где мы находимся.
I hear those rich people in Byzantium pay a handsome bit for rat musk.
Look, you can tell Catherine the new shipment will be ready when it's ready, all right? She's welcome to come up here and pack boxes herself if she's in such a hurry. Did she now? Well, I can see I was mistaken. Because if Catherine really had sent you, there'd be a lot more expletives in your message. I hope you can forgive my temper. This job has been running me ragged lately.
Зашиваюсь.
First, my autoloader
Подбухиваешь,
foreman
да?
stages a walkout, and now my chief pescatological health manager is missing.
Мало того, что бригадир по погрузочным работам хлопнул дверь, да еще и старший менеджер по рыбоведению куда-то пропал. Старший кто?
Braxton. He's in charge of getting the fish fat, but also making sure they don't get too many tumors. He's a real wizard with pharmaceuticals, but he has creative notions of working hours. Comes with living in a free colony, I guess. I can't keep working double shifts either. Since you don't seem to be constrained yourself, maybe you could check up on him. He lives in the apartments. Tell him Velma said to get his lazy ass down here, or she might start noticing those extra jugs he's been taking from supply. Something else on your mind? This again? I swear, this is the last time I contract for any special requests. You can tell Grim his poster came in. You can also tell him I got a better offer for it. So now it's going to Nell. That about cover it? She runs the betting parlor across the way. Nice professional lady. She asked me about the poster once. Just once. Made a real generous offer, too. Damn right it is. It's staying locked up in my office until Nell shows with her money. No. I paid Sublight for it. So, it's mine. And when Nell pays me for it, it'll be hers. Grim may have asked for the poster, but it's not his until I take his money. Sure can. If you want to pay me more than Nell's offering.
Что за плакат, блядь?
Sure. And once you finish helping me, then we can talk about the poster. Fine by me. Caleb Herrick runs the autoloader operators. He thinks I don't pay them enough for flipping switches and turning dials.
So the job's easy, but you're not doing it? Something smells here. I mean, everything smells in here, but something's fishy. Wait.
He and his whole crew walked out. Say they won't come back unless I pay them more. You mind slapping him around a little while you're at it? I'm joking. Mostly. Unless you can do it without hurting his job performance. If you can find a way to get him back to work, I'll make it worth your while. Check the yacht club. He's usually there.
Побочных заданий очень много.
Stealing's such a nasty word. Let's call it skimming. And yeah, let's just say I've noticed the stereobiotics we use for the fish would get used a little faster on Braxton's shifts. We're not like those corporate towns where you get fined for sleeping on the wrong side of the bed. Besides, the Spacer's Choice stuff we use is cheap enough. And Braxton knows how to get the salt tuna, fat and mostly tumor-free. Sublight boss out of Fallbrook. Handles most goods that come in or out of Stellar Bay. Has a mouth like a ground six spacer.
Так, пойдем. Побочных заданий понадавали. Нелл. Так, никого не видно?
Great work.
Подожди, грим. Что за грим? Что за плакат? Я вообще не помню, что было. Так, подожди, дневник. Так это идти далековато же. Давай другое задание возьмем пока. В смысле убийства?
You know, I haven't seen him in a while.
Oh, sorry. Just spooked was all.
Чего не ожидал? Что случилось? А, ну ладно, трупак. Тут тоже никого нет.
You startled me. Don't sneak up on a person like that, huh? Braxton. I've never even heard of a Braxton. Got nothing for you, sorry. Oh, in that case, he told me he was delivering to this house in the ruins south of town. Whole family had fallen sick and he had some meds on hand. So maybe look for him there?
Hope he's okay. We should hurry, Captain.
Что-то все зашуганные какие-то, трясутся.
What do you think of the unreliable Parvati?
There's always something to fix, and it's neat working in the Aether. I always took Atmo for granted. Now, if I drill through the hole, we'll suffocate. Exciting, you know?
I'm not sure I wanted to know that. Careful. Only things you'll find in the ruins are liable to shoot you or eat you. Or both.
I wonder who used to live here. Do you
Че,
suppose anyone
подружились?
lives anymore?
У вас языки молотят и молотят. Не остановишь. Такс.
A visitor? What an unexpected surprise! Please, come in. Come in.
I'm getting real bad fight or flight right now. Watch your step. People ain't this friendly outside city walls.
The Edgewater deserters were perfectly nice, and they lived outside the city walls. Well, maybe not Adelaide, but everyone else.
That's the spirit. Now come in. Make yourselves comfortable.
Походу он тут там завалил человека.
I'm afraid we don't get many visitors out here. The Raptidons and Marauders scare off all but the boldest. And if you've braved them, you must be exhausted. Why don't you stay for dinner?
Секунду. А если вы их одолели, вы должно быть очень устали. Прошу, останьтесь у нас на ужин.
I'm sure I would remember something
Я
like
бы такое
that.
точно запомнил.
Now, quit fretting yourself about that. Make yourself at home. Dinner's almost ready.
Something ain't right about this.
Can we talk? Hey, Captain. I heard that Groundbreaker's got a real good engineer. A lady named Junlei Tennyson. I was thinking that maybe I ought to meet her. If you got time to swing us by, I mean. I don't got much experience fixing actual spaceships. I bet you a can of Borston beans she could teach me all manner of stuff. Thanks, Captain. I'll be sure to make it worth your time. Did you want to talk about anything else before we moved on? He seems like a nice boy to me. I'm glad you gave him a shot. Yeah, but I got a good feeling about him, is all. I mean, sure, he's a bit rough around the edges. I bet he just needs somebody to... You might surprise yourself.
Так, ты чё, хочешь
Hey,
поговорить?
got a favor to ask you. Next time we're in the Monarch Wilderness, I'd like to stop in on an old friend of mine. Preferably before we get to Hiram's. It's on the way, don't worry. You don't seem the type to run off and get yourself killed, and I could use the help. Well, we'll see about that. I'll be upfront with you. I hate asking for help. I hate it. Every time I give someone the opportunity to disappoint me, they seem to make it their most immediate goal. But this, what I'm thinking, it's dangerous. Really? Here I was steeling myself for inevitable rejection. I used to run with a band of hunters. Friends. 6 of us. We were on Monarch when the corporations pulled out, and we helped a lot of people pick up the pieces. I haven't seen 2 of them in years, and the rest I know to be dead. I'd like to gather their effects and bury them all in the same places, like the family we once were. First, we go to Hayes. I buried him a ways from our encampment. I need to pay my respects. I'll show you where he rests. He had a medallion in his effects. That's what I'll bring home to Barry. Then we find my 2 lost trackers and bring them home. A long time ago, we built an encampment in one of Monarch's cave systems. Trouble is, a Mantiqueen showed up and kicked us all out. If we can find Rebecca and Anders, they'll know how to lure her out. Then we kill the bitch and bury everyone's medallions together. Thanks, Cap.
Так. Блять, понапихали мне заданий.
Oh, hi there. Did you come to bring us more of those rocket candies? That's wonderful. There was this other man who used to bring them. Not anymore, though. I don't know. I'm not really supposed to talk to strangers. Mama and Papa said he came from the city. When we got sick one time, he brought those candies to make us well again. And they worked. Now we feel better than ever. Mama says they're a gift from the Eternal. He said they were making us sick. Mom and Papa got real mad at him for that. They went to have a talk with him. Afterwards, they said he wasn't coming back again. Okay. Maybe I'll see you at dinner.
Way she said that reminded me of a rat licking its chops. Be careful.
Hey, what are you doing in my room? Maybe I'll tell Mama and Papa. Then you'll be
Не
sorry.
надо.
You're trying to steal the last of my rocket candies, aren't you? The ones that come in a bottle with a rocket ship on it. Like the other man used to bring.
Все, уходим. Че, вскроем без палева? Никто же не видит.
No. They sulfur-sodden assholes. Ain't enough that the rats eat everyone? Now people are doing
Они
it
его
too?
едят. Ах ты, суки. Они его едят, бля, ёптать. Ганнибалы, бля. Загасить их надо. На всякий случай.
But what's this? You're tracking blood into the kitchen. Oh dear. You've been nosy, haven't you?
Quickly, my dear. He's getting agitated. We can't let the meat spoil.
Don't worry. We'll make this quick.
Пых. А ее убивать не надо? Или надо убивать? Ах ты, сучка. чё, опять подохли, что ли, у меня? Пойдем лутаться, чё? Комната есть. Так, подожди. Очки навыков у нас есть. Что ж прокачать? Так. Общение прокачать, наверное, лучше, да? Взлом. Лидерство надо тогда прокачивать. Пусть будет. Вы можете приказать своим напарникам использовать особое умение против врага, которое указывает на целью. Ну ладно, разберемся. Так, второе. Бонус к урону от попадания в голову. Так, закупочная цена. Я думаю, вот это... А, нет, где она? Вот это прокачать, что ли? Тут разобьемся по-любому. Спрыгнуть не получится. Такс. Вельма.
Feels like the old bits outside of Edgewater. Used up, unneeded, left to settle into the light. Don't bother knocking on any doors. If anyone's inside, they're liable to respond with gunfire.
You ever been off the
before you met the captain. I mean, nah, I mostly just drank and hunted. As soon as you stop to dream of... I don't know what it is, but my gun's been acting funny. Used to be, I had to correct for a bit of leftward drag. Got used to standing just so, and after a while, it put a thorn in my side, something awful. Lately, though, it ain't pulling. I find my stance.
I'd give you a friendlier welcome, but I'm up to my elbows in salt tuna guts.
Who spat in your spirits, Velma?
You noticed my mood? I'm surprised you can see straight today.
I could be seeing triple and I'd still think you're being unkind. I just might find it funnier.
Will you try wrangling half a ton of dead fish with decades-old equipment and see what it does for your disposition? Anyway, what do you folks need? That he's got his load on and I'm stuck covering his shift? That's... wow. I sure feel like an ass now. Oh, sure. Because Monarch's just teeming with experts in the finer points of salt tuna health. Still, it's good to know what happened to him. And that I ought to start looking for a replacement. Something else on your mind? Unless you're here to tell me he's agreed to do his job again, I've got nothing to say. I don't have the bits for it, plain and simple. Besides, if I make an exception for him, I gotta do the same for everyone. Hard workers? They turn dials and flip switches. The machines do all the actual work.
I'll wager she don't pay those folks that maintain the mechanicals decent neither.
Caleb and his crew have it better than anyone else around here, I'll tell you that much. If Caleb wants to keep this job, he'd better get back to it. I'm about ready to hire sub-light contractors at this rate.
Если Калибу еще нужна работа, пусть возвращается поскорее. Еще немного, я найду работников.
I don't even want to think about that. Or how far behind Braxton's loss alone is going to put us. Fine. Tell Caleb he and his team can have their raise, but I need them back here immediately.
И где мне его найти? Грэм, Анхар.
Poor Braxton.
В смысле, в квартире улики? Пойдем. Что за улики? Почему я не знаю об этом? А как найти улики? Так все, наверное, это улики есть, да? Непонятно. Левое поле. А где это левое поле? Побочек очень дофига здесь. Как бы можно вообще растягивать игру.
Ooh, you're the new face. Wow, you must be up on all the latest tossball games. So who do you follow? Wait, don't tell me. You look like a Hammersmith Thunder fan. No, Glacial H Mammoths. I'd heard they'd gotten a new hacker. Is that why everyone's making such a fuss about you? But what are you doing on Monarch? Ha! Maybe we're not so isolated as I thought. So, what can I do for you? Poor Isaac. I was wondering why I hadn't seen him in a few days. I'd really like to help. Isaac was a sweet fellow, even if he did have terrible teeth. I don't know for sure, but I saw Elijah and his buddies pushing Isaac around. They're hooligans from Fallbrook. They sweep into town, drop supplies off behind the warehouse, and spend the rest of their stay getting rowdy over tossball games. They usually loiter in the alley behind the yacht club. They're not allowed in the bar anymore. I bet you anything Isaac ran into trouble with one of them. Mr. Sanjar will be pleased to hear about it when you're done. I know he gets fed up with the Fallbrook bullies, but there's not much he can do.
Разборки, разборки.
I wonder sometimes what they're doing on other colonies.
Uh-huh.
Think they're watching the same series?
Да, достали уже.
You're not listening to a word, are you?
Look, my bad.
Did you have a sweetheart in Stellar Bay? I had a fling or two, sure. But on Monarch, relationships ain't usually meant to last. A lot of fools tried to impress me, feigning bravado.
Hey! What are you doing here? This is our secret alley. Berta already pissed by those crates to market. Listen, that purple-toothed twerp had it coming. Not that anyone has proof. And not that it's any of your business.
Блин.
I don't think so. You're a loose end now.
Love a good fight.
А чтобы прокачать мне вот Полтос надо теперь. Короче, сюда вкачиваться надо. Санжар.
Well, new business turns up at last. Celia, didn't I tell you our new statistics-based advertising model would be a hit?
That you did, sir.
How can yield improvements of 26.7% not quicken the pulse? How can 32% cost savings not moisten the loins?
You've often posed these very questions.
Clear my schedule. This newcomer has a meeting with me. Celia, will you make a note of that for my self-review? Very generous.
Noted.
But not so generous I can't drive a good bargain. Now, who sent you? Rizzo's, perhaps? Or Auntie Cleo herself? Oh. I suppose that means you aren't here for the Saltuna. Now, there's no need to humor me. I'm used to this particular letdown.
Seems like you're having a rough time, Mr. Sanjar. Are you doing quite all right?
Oh, don't worry on my account. This is merely the latest in a long line of professional erotic and athletic disappointments. I had hoped that livening up our advertisements with enticing figures would draw the other corporations back to our bosom, but it seems we're back to the drawing board.
Так, я надеялся, что реклама с вызывающим симпатию персонажем будут другие корпорации. Раскрыть нам это объять, так и видно, план не удался.
Thanks to the so-called hazard clause, Monarch has been cut off from the board's resources and protection for 10 years now.
So-called is right. We've got our hazards, but we're still here, damn it. The board took off without so much as a thought for the folks left behind.
I don't... Dang it, Captain, that's not right. Folks on Monarch shouldn't have to suffer just because the board says so.
Now, we've kept ourselves in business by trading with individual corporations, but given the off-the-books nature of those transactions, such arrangements are precarious. Yes, freedom is a tempting ideal, but a rather costly paramour.
Indeed. Mr. Nandi here has a rather ingenious plan to get MSI restored to the board.
On our terms, mind you.
But will that help the people here, Mr. Sanjar? Keep them fed and safe?
That's precisely what I'm trying to do.
And if our advertising scheme hasn't borne fruit, then perhaps it's time we took matters into our own hands.
It's true, our Celia is an alarmingly competent middle manager. At any other company, she'd be wasted in data entry. The plan she refers to is a two-pronged approach, and the first part involves seeing Stellar Bay properly defended.
And a Mantisaur problem, and a Marauder problem.
Many problems, but they can all be solved with a Bolt 52 cartridge. If you can get us what we need to rejoin the board, starting with the Bolt 52, we won't need to advertise anymore. We can stop our transmissions altogether.
And you'll have a powerful ally on the board.
Блин.
Why, one of the strongest defenses in Halcyon. An extremely powerful ordnance. In the old arms building southwest of town, which used to be part of Stellar Bay before we had to move our walls in, these days it's overrun with marauders and raptidons. Saying what, which way? That's just what it's called. It's supposed to stand for something, but I forget what. Oh, and while you're at it, there should be a terminal in the arms building with some dangerous information. Perhaps you could delete it so it doesn't fall into the wrong hands. What can I do for you? You think we're the problem? Have you even heard the nonsense Graham is spewing? It isn't easy keeping a town like Stellar Bay afloat, especially without the board's backing. We need that frequency to reach our trading partners. Indeed. That's why it's imperative that MSI be reinstated onto the board. And the first step is getting the Bolt 52. But that's terrible. What happened? But that means we won't be able to log their testimonies. If there's one thing I've been hoping to re-establish in Stellar Bay, it's proper documentation for legal matters. Celia, I do hope you're taking notes. I've got to remember some of these quips.
Indeed, sir.
Still, your intervention in the matter is much appreciated. Please consider this payment for your services. I see. And was his delivery of the MSI authorized greeting up to snuff? Well, that's excellent. I'll see that your feedback makes it into his review. What else can I do for you?
Ладно, пора идти. Ладно, заканчиваем. Посмотрю, что вышло по звуку. Вроде пока все нормально. Но все равно надо перезапуститься будет. Перезапуститься, да? Вот. Задержек нету. Но были помехи пару раз. Но задержек нету. Все работает идеально, как надо. Вот, так что сейчас завершим. Ненадолго прервемся. И по новому запустимся. Потому что, ну, все равно так продолжать, ну, типа, смысла нет. Мне тоже по звуку надо проверить. И по новому включению, при новом включении, я надеюсь, никаких больше проблем не будет. Вот, может, это чисто случайность, то, что я так запустился. И все работает как нужно, так как нужно. Либо реально по ОБС я там пару настроек подкорректировал и все нормально стало. И тем более микрофон я в ОБС подправил, там не в том месте микрофон я подключил. Не в той позиции, так скажем. Вот, так что все, сохранились.